Welcome to another episode of Bringing Down the Grindhouse, a podcast where we discuss horror in media. And today we're going to be discussing Dead Snow and Overlord. I'm Mitch.
Hello, I'm Mur.
And I'm Jonathan.
So, which movie do you want to discuss first, John?
I think we should go into Dead Snow first.
Yeah, let's do Dead Snow first. It's a little less serious than Overlord was, and there's like not quite as much there.
Yeah, I would say that's exactly the same. That's exactly what I would say about it. It was super campy.
Yeah.
Campy beyond all recognition.
I mean, on their description, it's a comedy/horror.
Yeah, they like labeled it as such, and so you would know beforehand going into it. But it was Norwegian, Swedish.
Norwegian is the
Norway.
language you're speaking. Yeah.
Yeah. So it came out. This movie came out in 2009, but I was watching it. I was like, I feel like this is a 90s movie. I don't know why I felt that way watching it.
I think it's because it follows the 90s thing where they try to hit all the tropes and beats of any normal horror movie.
Yeah, they started doing that right in the middle where I was like, this is back-to-back jokes and references to other movies.
Did you watch a dub or a sub?
The sub.
Okay, so me and Mur watched a dub.
Oh, that must have sounded fucking terrible.
It was silly.
It was very funny.
That probably made it really weird. No, I watched a sub and it was like pretty intense at some moments, and then the rest was like, they really didn't talk that much. Like, now I think about it, there's not much script there.
In the beginning of the cabin, there's a lot, but after that, I mean, it kind of just fizzles out because it's more action based in the middle of the movie.
Right. Well, let's talk about that fucking intro.
Very. It reminded me a lot of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Like the running.
Excuse me. I'm so sorry. I forgot about the intro with the girl running from all of the zombies.
Well, yeah, they're playing in the Hall of the Mountain King, along with like cuts of people running away in the forest and dying.
Mm-hmm.
Where we meet one of our characters, Sarah, who is running away from these things.
I'll insert some of the music so you know what I'm talking about. But it's very familiar, and it started off like one of those artsy films that like an indie movie would do, and then it goes like right into them sitting in the car. And you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of
oh, you mean The Descent?
Thank you. It reminded me of The Descent.
My favorite part about that intro with the running is you hear what's the song called? The
In the Hall of the Mountain King.
You hear In the Hall of the Mountain King, and she like thinks that she's safe, and she turns around and the music stops.
Yeah.
It's like it's all in her head. Well, it's not all in her head, but it's like it just stops because we get her point of view, and it's like it's not a movie for her. It's just her running away.
It does break away from it, kind of like you're watching a stage play or something. It's interesting.
And then it continues right as the zombies get to her and rip out her guts.
Yeah, that seemed to be really common. There was people always getting their intestines ripped out.
Always.
A big fear. I mean, even one of the guys foreshadows that you'll get your guts ripped out.
That was great because there's always that old man who's warning people in scary movies, and either survives or gets killed himself. Like, what was the old dude in, was it Piranha, that was trying to like warn everybody?
Oh, yeah.
Who like lived in his little cabin on the side of the fucking lake.
Yeah,
that's what he
reminded me of. You don't want to go up there.
Right. That's what he felt like to me. I also like that he called them like fucking shitheads. He's like, you rich little shitheads. I bet you didn't even investigate the area before you came up here. Rolls his own fucking cigarette. Like,
yeah, exactly. Just
you got any beer?
He's like, who made the coffee? You made the fucking coffee? Does it taste good? No. And then opens a beer and fucking starts drinking that and smokes because he's just like, this is a fucking terrible coffee.
I like how she's like, it's organic.
Oh, she really did, huh? Yeah.
The Wook girl?
The Wook girl.
Oh my God, dude. Her hair was so fucking awful. It was just a matted mess on top of her head. I didn't know what they were doing. But it was definitely...
So
she's a Wookiee.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the term.
It goes into this scene where they're all driving down and talking about each other. There's 4 girls and 4 guys, supposedly, is what it's supposed to be. But Sarah is the one that was killed off in the intro. She is the main character's
Girlfriend, right?
So they take the time to explain that she's like a very extreme person.
Two of them looked too similar for me to make the distinction of like, oh, there's actually 4 people.
Are you talking about the guys or the girls?
The girls, because
Yeah.
well, no, all the guys are like distinctly different.
Yes.
You got your normal fat guy
Who's like a huge movie nerd apparently. Had a Brain Dead t-shirt on the whole time. Like, that's fucking great. And then makes like a Terminator reference, makes a reference to like another horror film, and then they make a reference to Evil Dead. Like, they actually say Evil Dead in the film, and then they have like their shed scene where they get armed and like use a chainsaw too. So they were calling back to a bunch of different horror movies.
I like that character, especially when they're about to go up the trek for the mountain. First thing he does, please don't talk about movies. Please don't talk about movies. You guys want to play a game? Okay, what kind of movie do you think, name a movie is what they say. Name a movie that has teens in it that go up to a cabin and they can't use their cell phones.
Yeah, and they start naming shit. They're like Friday the 13th.
And they're like, wait, there were no cell phones during the 80s.
Right. It's like, does that count?
And then the girl who has somewhat of an interest in him actually references a movie on.
Well, I mean, they do have sex at one point.
That's the thing.
Which is like the grossest scene because they're like in and out house.
Yeah.
Like, that's like the worst. So I have to. This is the only part. This is one of those parts to me. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Rest of the zombies, I could totally run with the zombies, but you're telling me that this dude got hard in the middle of the fucking snow in an outhouse smelling like shit?
Just done with pooping.
No, there's no way that dude got it up. Like, he didn't even wipe his ass. Like, he's not. There's no way a sex scene was happening in the cold like that. What the fuck?
We're introduced to that character. We're introduced to our main character who drives the snowmobile. I don't know his name.
He like sews his fucking neck back together and
Yeah.
then tapes it and then just keeps going. That was weird.
He uses like fishing line and a hook
Yeah.
to get his line, and then uses duct tape to hold it all together afterwards.
I like how he gets frustrated. He's like, no, fuck this. And just resorts to the duct tape.
I mean, he sort of does it a little bit. Wait, so they have to like walk over to the cabin, right?
Yeah, so our main character, he decides, I'm going to take the snowmobile up there. I'll warm up the
Start
cabin.
warming up the house.
And I'll unpack your bags. That way everything's settled in. You guys, it's just like a couple, like 2 or 3 mile hike up the mountain.
Yeah, they said it would take them like 45 minutes to walk. So if you can figure out the math for that, you'll know how far they walked. Because they are walking like regular pace, got there 45 minutes. And then they're like, what should we do? And they just start doing like drinking and fucking playing on what are those things? The little sleds that are attached to the snowmobile.
No, it's not. They're not toboggans. That's not the correct
No.
term.
Oh,
for them.
It's like an
the
inner tube,
inflatable,
kinda.
the inflatable donuts.
The donuts.
Yeah, there you
they start
go.
Playing on the donuts.
I thought for sure someone was going to get thrown off, but that did not
it looked
happen.
like so much fun, though. I have to say, that looked like a blast.
It was a completely different movie for like 15 minutes. You're
Yep.
like, what the fuck am I watching?
Then they were having a snowball fight.
Have you guys ever seen Ghost Ship?
No, I need
It's like
to.
the intro to Ghost Ship. You watch it and you're like, what the fuck is this? Like, it's super nice. They're all having a good time on this fancy boat. And then the fucking line goes straight to cross and cuts everyone in half. And you're like, yep, here's the horror movie. It's great. It cuts everyone in half. And then the little girl who's dancing with her dad watches her dad like fall in half and then just freaks out.
Oh,
Need to watch this movie
That
now.
movie's fucked up.
I heard that movie's not so great too, though.
No, it's not really that good. It was more for those scenes where you're like, oh, it's like watching Resident Evil when the dude gets chopped into little bits in that hallway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, remember when the grid shows up?
Oh,
I know I mistook the intro. I forgot about the intro we were going to discuss, but the intro when they're driving up there reminded me of something like how Texas Chainsaw starts, where they're all just hanging out in the car on their way someplace.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. Or I think even Evil Dead's like that too. I think
Literally, it's Evil Dead, The Descent.
Yeah.
Like there's a bunch of other ones that start off just like that. A group of people in a car going somewhere. And that's how they all started off. And that one reminds me a lot of The Descent. And then, of course, the ones that they mentioned, it reminds me of Evil Dead and things like that.
Yeah, they basically reference every movie that they're going to rip off.
Any movie that's like in the cabin in the woods
Yes.
is what they're referencing. So
including
it's,
Cabin in the Woods.
Including Cabin in the Woods, yeah.
Yeah.
So like Cabin Fever, Cabin in the Woods, Evil Dead, like all of that shit.
Yeah.
And they were definitely making references to it. He even makes a Terminator reference at one point where he like talks like Arnold Schwarzenegger. And he's like, I'll be back. And he just says that. I think that's when he goes out to shit, actually.
Yeah.
Anyway, they start having all their fun, and then what happens after that?
They're having their fun. They're getting settled in. They're drinking. They're playing games and listening to music. And one of the chicks goes out to use the restroom, and then they find the old man peeping, or she sees him in the distance.
Yeah.
And he runs away. And at first, you think it's going to be a zombie.
Oh, that's right. He shows up at the front of the door, like right behind the other dude. I don't remember his name.
Yeah, they all have strange names.
He had like
that I
black
remember.
hair and was like supposed to be one of the tough dudes.
Yeah.
So you are introduced to this old man character, and he just seems like he's on his way. And then I like to call these guys the exposition characters, because then he just drops some knowledge for
the
these
whole
dudes.
fucking story about the Nazi group that was out there.
About their Nazi commander who went to drive them into the snow. Into the snow. And then they buried a lot of Nazi gold and treasure within these mountains.
Yeah, and apparently that was like their goal. They were trying to get all of it back.
Yeah.
It was very what's that movie? Pirates of the Caribbean, when they're collecting all of the gold.
The undead army that is bound to the gold.
Yeah, they were definitely doing something like that. And then he tells this whole story about how this Nazi I don't even know what
commander.
to call it. Yeah, the commander and his men, they knew that they were losing the war in this area, and they knew the Russians were going to show up at some point. So they tried to steal everything from all the villagers and then take it somewhere else. But I guess some of these villagers decided to fight back against them.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then this is important exposition, because after we're introduced to this character and he shits on the coffee and drinks his beer and smokes his cigarette, they leave, and the fat guy actually crack opens a beer, but then finds the said gold in the little crawl space.
Yeah, where he was getting the
house.
beer from.
And it's really funny because it's one of those Pulp Fiction moments where
It's
they
like
grab it.
light is coming out of it, this golden light.
It's like shining all over their faces like Marcellus Wallace. It's really good.
I fucking love that scene in both movies. They're all surrounding it as it opens up, and it's this bright golden light that hits their faces.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it looks like the cheapest jewelry you've ever seen. Like, they just got extra shit from like the 99-cent store and put it in a box. And it never looks like real jewelry. They even had like those fake earrings that you kind of just like clip onto your ears. That's what they had there for the dudes that were putting it on. So it was interesting. No, there was a coin that they mentioned that was like really old. And I was wondering why the hell they decided to mention the year on it. Because it was like 1492, I think. And I was like, I feel like that's a specific reference to something. So I have to look it up at some point.
1492? You mean sure it's not 1942?
Maybe it was mixed up.
Yeah,
It
because
might
that would
be
have been World War. That would have been
1942.
World War II. So that would be when you've got your. That's the Nazis. In general, also, because it was 1492. You're talking about when Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
Oh, is that what that shit
Yeah.
is? Damn, they stuck that in my head. Yeah, first of all, fuck Christopher Columbus.
Yeah,
No.
that conditioning though.
Yeah,
Anyway,
for real.
so
no.
yeah, so they have those
United
years.
States
They have those
education
years on the
system.
coin. He finds the box, and then what happens?
The girl goes out.
They think it's kind of weird, and they're kind of hyped on the jewelry. And then we
Well, yeah, because they want to pay off their debts because they're all med students.
right.
They're all medical school, and they obviously owe a lot of money. And then there's the one dude who is like afraid of blood,
And he's a medical
and he's
student.
a medical student, so he's not doing well.
Um,
They had such weird pairings in this movie, though.
I believe one of the girls, she's really freaking out about Sarah. Like, she's like, I really need to know where she went. I really need to find her.
Right.
And it takes a turn, and it makes our main character get on his snowmobile and look for his girlfriend in the dark, in the middle of the snow.
Yes.
And
He does.
that's when it cuts to the old man in his little camper, in his little tent, all by himself in this giant wasteland of snow, just chilling.
That was such a good scene, though.
It
He
was-
gets out, and the only thing you can see is what his flashlight is pointing at. So you just get that really limited view of what's around him.
It was really scary because there's a giant cloud over his tent area,
Yeah.
but not to the left side of like the mountain.
No.
So like if he would have moved his tent to where moonlight was, it would have been fine. But with the cloud, it's complete darkness, and you see our first Nazi zombie, and it gets him real fucking good.
It wasn't even anyone important. It was just like some random zombie that rolled up on him. I thought it was gonna be like the commander or something, but
nope, just some rando.
Also, what the
random
fuck is
crowd.
he doing out there? What is this old man doing out there? He doesn't even explain what he's doing.
Yeah, I was
just
really
a hermitous old man.
I
Right?
was really wondering that. He has a full-on tent, a gun, everything, a setup for, a lone wanderer, but he doesn't explain why.
Super weird. I was hoping he would survive a little longer, but he did not. He got fucking eaten.
The scenes where the guy's using the snowmobile going up and down like some X Games kind of fucking dude.
Okay, yeah.
Super intense.
We gotta talk about the music that they use in this fucking movie.
It's like Norwegian punk rock
Yeah,
or something
yeah.
like that. It's super great. I love it.
They would always do like some crazy guitar riff right when they were doing all the action sequences, and they just kept doing it over and over again. And some
Yeah.
of them are in English.
Oh, okay, gotcha. A
Yeah,
lot of them
but-
sound like they were Norwegian. to
But
me,
there is
though.
a good amount in Norwegian, yeah. The very last song, I think, is in English. And
Okay.
I was like, what the fuck is this song? I was trying to figure it out, go find the soundtrack for it.
It's also good to discuss one of the first things that they talked about in the car. How to survive an avalanche is to spit.
So relevant to the movie.
The direction of your spit, if it goes the opposite way, then you need to dig the opposite direction so you could get
Right.
out of the avalanche.
Because if you get taken up and thrown around, you don't know which way is up.
Yeah, you'll see where gravity's pulling your spit, essentially, so then you'll know which way's up. That was super interesting. And he talks about how I guess it was like the Russian soldiers would say that, or just or soldiers in general would say that.
He was in the army, I guess, before.
That makes sense.
That dude who's on the snowmobile. He mentions that he was in the army at some point and then got out, I guess.
Kind of irrelevant to even the story because it doesn't even come up unless you're talking hand-to-hand combat near the end of the film.
Oh, right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, they do have another scene where that girl is buried underneath the snow, and that was a good shot because it starts upside down and then it twists to like the right direction.
Really claustrophobic shot, actually, too.
Right.
'Cause there's this little bit of snow just around her face.
That's cool. They must have like packed in snow around the camera lens
Mhm.
and then just did that shot and twisted it as they were doing the shot.
It's
little
pretty
tiny
good shot.
pocket of air.
It's
and
like
light.
what they did for that movie with Ryan Reynolds where he's like buried in a coffin. What they did is they just had half a coffin on the side, and that's how they shot it. They did the camera
Oh, wow,
right up next to
okay.
it, so he's not actually in a coffin. He's just like in an opening.
I still need to see that, actually.
It's a pretty good movie. It is definitely gonna mess with your claustrophobia if you have it.
So, one of the girls uses the bathroom, and she like nicks her arm coming out of it or something, and then she gets treated by the guy who's super afraid of blood.
No, she cuts her hand while they're cooking.
Oh yeah,
But the big dude goes out to the restroom, and then she goes out, and that's when they hook up in the outhouse, which is like the gnarly scene. And then he leaves her there to finish up, and then that's when the zombies show up.
Oh, and it must be fucking terrifying to like see a zombie through a tiny crack in an old crappy outhouse.
It's funny though because he like yanks her into like the shit part where like all of the fucking poo and fucking pee is, and she like falls in there and then like bursts out of it like fucking gasping, and then you could see like she's steaming because the dude just took a shit, so it's like it's steaming all on her face and shit. And so she runs out of the damn outhouse and like is screaming for help, but they don't hear her because the music is on really loud. And then one of the girls is like, wait, shut up, and like turns it off, and then they realize that she's fucking screaming. And then they go outside, and the fucking zombie like tackles her.
Yeah, she gets tackled right before anyone could see her, and then
Yeah.
that's when the white girl that cut her hand is freaking out about Sarah. So then she's like, where the fuck is Sarah? We need to find her. Then they send the other guy out there on the snowmobile. This is when you finally see Sarah. Or no, you don't see Sarah. You see the girl who just got fucking fucked up, who was in the shitter. You see her head in the window peering out. She's like, oh my God, there she is. There's
Yeah,
my
she's
friend.
fine.
And then it's a fucking hand holding her head. It's a fucking zombie just like going at it. And this is where the movie starts with its zombie
Yeah,
attacks.
it like breaks through the window and grabs her by the hair and just starts trying to drag her out. And then they cut her hair so that she can escape. And then the guy with the shotgun shoots it. And that's how it kind of starts. And then they just start breaking in all the entrances to start killing people.
Forgot to mention that when Fat Boy went out there to go get some puss, he dropped a fucking gold coin on the snow. So that's what really triggered the
I was
start
wondering
of
if that was it. It was
Yeah.
like they knew that this area had the gold that they were looking
Yeah,
for.
because they're attached to it. They're bound to this gold. it
Also, let's
seems.
talk about the weird CGI, not CGI, like practical effects for the dude getting his head like ripped open when he's getting pulled through the window.
Oh, yeah. What are they? Is that when they rip him apart?
No, that's the last guy.
Oh, yes.
That's
you're
when
right.
they grab him by like all the limbs. But the other guy, they pull through the window and then
Oh,
they
they
like
just decapitate
they
him.
gouge his eyes out and then they just rip his head apart and then you see a brain like splat on the ground.
Yes.
It cuts right to that. It doesn't
Oh my
even
God,
show
it's
anything
so,
else.
So good.
Yeah, it's like a steaming brain that hits the ground. It's so fun.
The thing is, with a lot of effects in horror movies, it's trying to make something seamless or something that's not seamless looks seamless. And with this practical effect, you could see the fake head that they use in a split second.
Oh yeah, it's like a weird clay thing that they end up just ripping apart.
Like you notice it really well because it just doesn't transition that well, but
Right.
it does the effect well, like with the blood and guts and brain.
Oh yeah, I thought it was good too. But can we talk about how fucking strong these zombies are?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Super strong.
Ripping limbs off, tearing this dude's head apart. Like, why are they so strong?
Throwing people across the snow and just having immense strength.
Makes them really scary zombies if
Yeah,
they're that powerful.
these are
usually,
like-
I mean, usually zombies have super strength. Also, a lot of the time I've seen like
I'm
it's
too
been-
used to like the Walking Dead zombies that are like falling apart.
Yeah, exactly. Which is a different. I mean, the depiction of zombies has been different from film to film.
Totally.
So in this one, they're totally doing like the really strong.
28 days later shit.
Yeah,
like,
kinda.
What is it, World War Z?
Yeah,
Where
I
they're
think
like
that.
fucking all like charging at you. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could also argue that all of these zombies were military as well. So
Oh,
there's
okay.
that you could also argue that if
They're
you
all
wanted to.
well trained.
Yeah,
They also,
exactly.
but I'm pretty sure they could talk, right?
I don't remember.
Or is that only the commander?
Yeah, I think the commander just does a cry or a scream.
Yeah,
or
he
something
has
along those
a
lines.
shriek that could
Summon other
more
zombies.
zombies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
from the
he's a
snow.
necromancer apparently.
Yeah, it's great though. It's super. It's great. It makes them really villainous too.
Yeah.
It gives them more clout as like a scary monster in this movie as well. If it's able to summon more of them, that makes it even worse. Really amps up the climax of the film.
I like the claustrophobic tension of the cabin. It's,
Oh yeah, just being in the little area.
I
I
like-
swear it's the same cabin they use in like every other movie.
Yeah, right.
It's always that same setup.
My favorite part is when they all go in the kitchen and they just start handing out knives like fucking cookies.
Oh right, yeah. They're like, time to get fucking armed, and they do like a quick cut of them like just grabbing knives and handing them to each other.
Yeah, like I'm like, oh, these people are somewhat smart and somewhat capable.
It's
Okay.
true, yeah. They were immediately like, it's time to start fucking killing these things.
Yep.
Because usually you have a bunch of people freaking out and not grabbing stuff, just
Right.
putting door
or they
beds
just
up
run
against
outside
doors.
for no reason. Like,
Or they're just freaking out, having an anxiety attack in the middle of the room.
oh, pretty much. That's almost always what happens.
There's
with
always at
those.
least one character who's like, oh fuck, we're gonna die, man.
So it shows them kind of like survive the night. So I guess it's 4 of them, right, that survive the night.
Mm-hmm.
Because one dude and one girl gets killed, and then the other guy who had left already, it cuts to him in the tent he finds where he finds the old man,
Yeah, he's like, hey, is anyone out here? Opens the tent.
which is that the way the body was set up was way too funny. They should not have done it that way. It just looked like a weird rubbery like surprise face on him, and he's like he's like propped up for some reason when like he wasn't left like that in the last scene. Like he was like getting ripped apart. Anyway, it was a weird scene.
His guts are ripped out though. You
Yep.
see his intestines.
Yeah, it's all like that just makes me think of the other part where they used the zombies' intestines as like rope. He's like hanging off the
Machete
cliff.
style.
Yeah, exactly. He's like hanging off the cliff, and dude, that guy is gnarly. That's the first time I've ever seen someone bite a zombie. He's like, fuck you, and like bit a piece off.
Yeah, and spits it out.
Spits it
afterward.
out. Is like all full. His
I
mouth
was
is
like,
just full of
"Oh,
that shit.
No, that's gross, man. Don't do that. That's not sanitary.
Yuck.
So he finds the secret Nazi base underneath the snow.
Yeah, he does. He finds like graves too, where like they're kind of they like broke out of them, and then the Nazi flag and everything.
Me and Mitch were discussing this. There were weapons in there that he could have used.
I know. I was really mad.
He picked up one of them.
He got the machine gun.
Yeah,
he got the big ass machine gun. I don't know what that one's called though. It's like a Browning machine gun.
Yeah, the Browning machine gun. That one is the only one that I'm really proud of. I mean, personally, I would have grabbed that MP40 though.
Yeah,
because that thing's fucking tight.
I probably would have grabbed that one too and just put it on the side or something.
What I don't understand is why you didn't grab it immediately and load that shit. Because I mean, there's zombies around. That shit's not good.
It could be an old ass gun and it won't work.
Yeah, and then he sees his decapitated girlfriend's head.
I like it's so dramatic. Like, have you ever what's the game? Have you ever guys played Metal Slug?
Yeah.
You remember like the cutscenes where they would show fucked up bodies like that? That's what it looked like to me. Because like the mouth is like spried open with the tongue hanging out. Yeah, and I'm like, that's exactly what those dead bodies in Metal Slug look like. And they're like 32 bits. That's what it reminds me of. I was like, what the fuck? And then he like recognized her too, and I was like, how the fuck do you recognize someone like that?
It must be how. Yeah, exactly.
The face is so warped. I was like, I couldn't even tell that was the original girl, but whatever.
Yeah.
He seems to be fine about it. He really doesn't give a fuck. He's like, I gotta survive and like get out of here, and then whacks whatever is behind him, the zombie, with his fucking torch, and then just gets tossed out of that hole somehow.
Yeah, just casually punched out of the fucking grave, just literally like uppercutted out of there and just flies through it. It was really great. Me and Mitch were talking about how strong these zombies are. Like, he literally just got punted and like a fucking soccer ball.
That was fucking weird. The only time I could think of zombies that were that strong was in 28 Days Later, when they're just like, they are breaking down doors, climbing up shit. Like, that's probably the scarier version. Although maybe the slow ones are more scary for some people because they're like never going to give up. They just always following you. And that's, I think, what the Walking Dead gets at. Yeah. Is that they're always around.
I mean, Walking Dead is, I think, more so, like the zombies become more of a natural threat to them, like weather or something along those lines, where the humans have to survive this, and it deals more so with the conflict among humans than it does, because eventually they figure out how to handle the zombies. They're not a big issue. They're an issue, but not as big as the other humans around them.
Have you seen the season where people are like hiding among the zombies?
No, I have not.
There's like a whole camp that does
it's
that. It's
fucking crazy. So yeah, you should get to that shit.
Okay.
The first time I saw it, I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, do they just start talking to each other? But it's really just like people hiding. Like, they put fucking zombie faces on and then walk with the zombies and like direct them places.
Oh, it's so fucking weird.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. It gets real weird at that point.
I will say fast zombies are just terrifying.
Yeah, full rage zombies. But like the originals were very slow. Like the ones that Romero came up with, who's probably like the person who made the zombie film. And his version were very slow. And then the newer ones, he made them like faster. He like updated it.
You ever see Return of the Living Dead?
Yes. Wait, is that the one in the mall? No, that's Dawn of the Dead.
Okay, this is not a Romero film.
Yeah, which one is that one?
The Return of the Living Dead. I'll give you a quick synopsis. We're going to be talking about this in 2020.
Hell yeah.
But basically, they reference the original Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
So they're like, hey, you saw that movie, The Night of the Living Dead, right? Well, it's true. And basically, we have those containers that couldn't hold the zombies in our mortuary in the basement. So then they go downstairs and they release this chemical. He's like, these are army grade chemicals, army grade tanks. Nothing could get through them. He hits it real quick, and the fucking gas comes out, and that's what's holding the zombies captive inside these tanks. It gets into the ventilation system. The whole entire mortuary wakes up. So then they start hacking them to pieces, and they throw everything in the fire. But then the fire evaporates into the rain, and the rain comes down, and it opens up the graveyards and cemeteries. So basically, everyone's just getting their brains eaten.
Holy shit!
And that's the thing with it's a really good movie, and those zombies are really strong and really fast, and even skeletons come out of the ground as well. It's just anything that was dead is living. They have a taxidermy cat that's used for like science, like anatomy, and then like that half of a cat is alive too.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That reminds me of like Army of Darkness, where they have like the angry skeletons.
It's like really over the top and fun, and I can't wait to talk about that movie.
Hell yeah.
But those zombies, they have some strength as well, though. They could knock down doors. They could use tools. That's the thing that happened in this movie too. The zombies eventually were using like hand items in one part of the movie, I believe.
Which part are you talking about?
I believe one of them gets hit with a crowbar. Not a crowbar. They get hit with something. They also have grenades on them, but they don't use those.
Yeah, they have like pipe bombs.
Yeah. Well, old school Nazi grenades.
You're right. Yeah, I can't remember what they're called, but like it had one end is the grenade, and then you have like a stick attached to it so you can toss it.
Yeah, it's kind of weird when you see zombies use hand tools and can speak
weird.
to each other. Land of the Dead had it where zombies were learning how to use machine guns, and that's terrifying on its own. Man,
that's some Planet Terror shit.
Yeah, but if you haven't seen Return of the Living Dead, go watch that shit. It's a good movie. Yeah. We're going to be talking about it in 2020, and I'm really excited for us to be talking about that one.
So the guy gets punted.
He gets punted, and then that's when he has to fight a few of them and make his escape. But at the same time, the group of 4, they decide to split up. So the 2 girls go off to try to find the car, and then the other 2 guys stay behind to start fighting these guys. And this is when they have their Evil Dead shed scene where they arm themselves.
Yeah.
And there's definitely a chainsaw.
Yeah. The chainsaw comes out. The guy grabs the hammer and the sickle.
Yep. And he does the symbol before hitting them.
Legit doing the communist symbol for
communist
sure.
Russia
So
symbol. It's that one's pretty legit.
I love that.
And then they just go fucking ham. They just are killing all these zombies, and you think it's gonna be all right because they are able to kill a whole bunch. And then the dude gets bit on his arm. He gets bit on his arm, and he's like, "Wait." He told us not to ever get bit, and then just saws off his own arm.
And he does it fine. He even burns the wound, so he cauterizes.
That was nowhere near hot enough for him to cauterize it, but I'll accept it.
And then
he just lit something on fire and then let it sit for 2 seconds before dipping his arm in it.
This is part of the movie where it's all right, comedy is whatever, our rules or whatever. We're just gonna kill a bunch of zombies and have fun with it.
Well, he even says it. He's like, "Don't get bit," and then he's cuts off his arm, and then he gets bit in the dick.
Right immediately after, the zombie just pops out from the bottom of the snow, and then he contemplates too.
Yeah, he fucking he starts socking the shit out of that zombie first, and then he's just do I have to cut my dick off? And then the other guy's like, "No,
don't do it, man." He's he's looking at the chainsaw and looking at it very meaningfully.
I don't think that you should do that.
While that is happening, the 2 girls, one of them gets killed, and she decides to pull one of the pipe bombs off of the Nazis and just goes out with a huge fucking
she's
bang.
She's watching them eat her.
Yo, that's right. She wakes up and is I guess they're eating her, but she has such blurry vision, and then it finally clears up, and she realizes they're just eating her intestines. And then she's like, "Fuck this! I want to blow everybody up."
Yeah, and then she just blows all of them up. It's pretty great. And then in the background, you have the explosion. You see the zombies flying out. The side.
All the
super
pieces.
Comical.
And then the other girl gets cornered on a cliff edge, and they take a tumble down, and I guess she survives because of the snow.
She starts the avalanche herself.
She purposely,
she purposely starts the avalanche and falls down with
I assumed that she was like, "I hope I hit some snow. I'll be chill."
Yeah, exactly.
Which she does.
Yeah, and that's when you get that claustrophobic scene we were discussing where it's kind of just centered on her face and she's surrounded in snow.
Right, she's got snot dripping from her nose, so you can tell which way is up. So you actually get to use what they told you earlier in the film. And then it switches so that she's actually there, and she just bursts out of the snow. And I guess she finds her way back over to where those guys are fighting and accidentally gets killed.
Yep.
Very much The Descent, where she accidentally kills her friend.
Yep.
He accidentally kills his girlfriend and just axes her in the neck.
Yeah, she she doesn't say anything. She just taps him on the shoulder, gets it to the head.
Why the fuck are you running up to somebody swinging an axe and just touch them on the shoulder? Say some shit. What the fuck?
Yep, but that's how it goes, though.
And he's super sad because he killed his girlfriend.
This is the dude that's supposedly afraid of blood, right?
Yeah, he's over that shit now.
Yeah, he's over it now.
Yeah.
He's covered in it.
Yeah.
He lost his glasses too. He's just he's really mad.
Well, they're both, so that she dies, and then the more zombies show up, and they're like, "All right, let's do this." And then right before they're about to like run into them, the guy with the snowmobile shows up with the fucking machine gun attached to it and just mows them all down, jumps in front, and then they all have this battle for like a couple minutes.
Yeah.
And then I thought this guy was going to survive all the way through.
Yeah, exactly.
There were some pretty good kills after he brought the machine gun out, right?
He like
Oh yes, the snow. Can
Yes.
you talk about that one?
he kills like 3 different zombies with his snowmobile.
Yep.
He
runs
decapitates
one
one, and then he has the super specific one where he like bunts their leg and then backs up on their face.
over. Yeah.
He places the snowmobile onto its face and then just runs the tracks, and then you could see all the guts splaying out from one side. And he just does that twice. Like he gets one of the other ones with the arm stuck in it, and then he turns it on again, and he gets pulled into it as it's like grinding up his arm.
Mm-hmm.
So he does that a few times, but he does not survive.
Oh.
They like stab him a few times, and then they grab him like by each limb and just
It's
rip
actually
him
such
apart.
it's such a good scene because they all stab him and then they all like go off at the same
Yeah,
time.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. The zombies use tools in this movie.
Yeah, they use
Yeah.
knives, which is fucking weird.
They have swords.
They also decided to just rip him apart for no reason.
Yeah, all his
Oh.
legs and arms and everything. They
Yep.
just rip all of it
And
off.
then you could tell they were just holding like fake
Yeah.
body parts at one point. Yeah, it was really weird.
I really like that effect though.
The scene was great. I loved it. I
I
loved
was
the scene.
looking at
though.
Mitch. I was just like, oh, they're gonna fucking do it. They're gonna.
Yeah,
oh,
they did it.
Yep, rip that guy apart.
And then this is where the two guys, they're low on ammo. They're looking kind of scared.
Well, they were pretty confident at one point because they thought they were gonna kill all of them, and they thought it was just the
Oh,
commander
yes.
left. And then he does his like crazy war cry, and all these fucking zombies come up from the snow.
So many.
That's when one of them gets killed.
Yeah, he gets smacked in the head with a hammer, and then he accidentally runs into a tree that guts him.
And this guy's on the run. He's our final survivor. And that's when he realizes about the gold.
Oh, this is the guy that cut his arm off earlier.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
remembers the story about the gold. So then he's going and returning to the house. And he digs through the ashes and rubble of the house that burned down, by the way. Forgot to mention that. And finds the box. And just, they take the
Presents
box for
it to them, and
Yep.
they're cool with that. And then he runs away, and then gets to the car somehow. He somehow finds the cars, gets in, gets really mad that his seatbelt is not going, like when it locks, and he just keeps pulling on it, and then he finally goes, and then he drops a gold coin out of his pocket and realizes that he's fucked.
Yeah.
Because the zombie shows up next to his car and just breaks through the window, and that's the end of the movie.
Yep.
It was making me really mad that he was even trying to attempt to use the seatbelt.
That was so
You know?
funny.
Like I was just like, dude, you don't have another arm to help you. Like you're obviously
Right? Just missing his whole fucking arm.
shit's been going down. Just drive your car. But you know, it was for the ending, and I understand.
It's
that.
enjoyable. I think the movie deserves its like 60% Rotten Tomatoes score.
Yeah, it's just fun. It's just a fun gore fest
Yeah.
for the most part. Nothing too deep here.
It's only
on
like
this
an hour
one.
and a half too. It really
Yeah.
wasn't that long.
Yeah, exactly.
Good, perfect movie time. I will say that this is 2009, and this is 1 year directly after Call of Duty World at War came out, and Nazi zombies was a thing. So that's when people were like, "Oh, you know what? A Nazi zombie movie. I'm okay with that."
People really, really like movies wwhere Nazis get killed.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
This is why you play like Wolfenstein and stuff like that.
Yep.
Where that's your only goal is to kill either to kill zombies or to kill Nazis or kill Nazi zombies.
Right.
It's like one of those three, and you end up doing
And
that
I
the whole
remember
time.
distinctively being in middle school, because that's when I was around this age,
Yeah.
trying to find a stream of this that was in English, because I loved the World at War zombies, and it's still a staple of the Call of Duty series today.
It's one of the modes you can play, right?
Yeah, correct. They keep making different changes, different characters, and all kinds of crazy stuff, but the base is the same.
Nice.
Nazi zombies or I mean, they've had all kinds of different flavors
It's
of it.
like a multi-level like survival, right? You just survive as long as you can.
Yeah, they have guns that you could buy, upgrades, and all this other kind of convoluted stuff that gets more intense as the games progress.
I think I can't remember which one it was, but there was a version of it where you could get a ray gun.
Oh, all of them.
Oh, you can still do that? Fuck yeah.
All of the Nazi zombie modes have ray guns, and that's the crazy part about it, because it wasn't intentionally supposed to be in the game.
Right.
They did it so, hey, the people that complete the story mode, why don't we just start them on this weird survival thing where they just kill Nazi zombies? And they're like, we'll do rounds, we'll have guns, and we'll have really fun stuff. And it wasn't supposed to be in the game, but they put it in there as shits and giggles, and that was more buying power than the actual game itself. So people were only buying World at War just because it had Nazi zombies on it.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I think the hype and demand for a Nazi zombie movie a year later was what was happening, and that's why Dead Snow was made, probably.
What year did The Walking Dead come out? Do you guys know?
That was like 2010, I believe.
Yeah,
just 2 years later.
Yeah, exactly. I remember it premiered on Halloween, and I remember watching the first season of it ever, and I was like, this is amazing. Like, this is such a good show.
Left 4 Dead as well.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
They had Left 4 Dead in the games.
There was a big zombie resurgence for people within the 2010s and early 2000s.
Well, yeah, they were still making like the new Dawn of the Dead movies and stuff like that.
I'm not a fan of remakes.
Yeah, I didn't like those either. It was all right. The new one I think had like Ving Rhames in it, I think.
Romero was still making movies on his own. He had Survival, Land, and Diary of the Dead, which is the other trilogy of
he did Land of the Dead?
Of the Dead series, yes.
Oh, shit. I didn't know he did that one. That was a good one. Is that the one where they are like held up in a building and they end up having to like move areas? They like soup up their cars?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like an entire city.
Yeah.
And they have this giant souped up tank and they go from area to area.
It's fucking awesome.
That's the movie that I was referring to, where there's one hive mind zombie where he controls all of them. And he eventually learns how to use automatic machine guns. So like, not only are zombies bad, but zombies with machine guns are really bad. And if you watch that movie, zombies with machine guns that are on fire are really fucking bad too.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That definitely sounds like some video game level where you have to get past all this shit.
Overall, what did you guys think of Dead Snow, though?
I think it's worth the watch. You should go and watch a weird movie like this. Don't expect too much out of it. I went into it watching it like no expectations. I just knew it was like kind of a cult film. And then, I originally watched it before, but I hadn't seen it in a while. So watching it again, I was like, oh yeah. They had all of this shit in it, so it's enjoyable. It deserves its score, but I don't know if I'd ever watch it again after this.
Yeah, I had fun with Dead Snow. There was a lot of good gory kills and whatnot in it, and it's just a fun movie. All the references and everything. You know that the person that made this movie obviously loved all the movies that they're referencing, but it was very much like John said. It pretty much deserves its. I would say like a 60% is pretty good for a movie anyway.
Yeah, I wouldn't have rated it a bad movie.
Applicable to this one.
I have to agree on that. I think it is a product of what Mitch was saying, a product of love for the genre and zombies in general.
Yeah, they did just enough references to make it relevant to the genre it was trying to fit into.
For me, it seems like the guy was just trying to make a fun movie that can be enjoyed and not really taken more than that, just at face value. Something that is fun and lighthearted, and it's kind of funny. They got some good comedy moments.
Very lighthearted, very comical, which is in complete contrast to Overlord.
I really, really fucking liked Overlord.
So we should move right into talking about Overlord. Let's talk about the opening fucking scene, which is just a plane coming apart and him tumbling all the way down into the water, and it follows him the entire fucking way.
Oh, dude. Okay, so that's the thing. When I was watching it and seeing the Overlord logo, as all these planes over Europe are going into it, I was getting really hyped. And I never saw this movie in theaters, but it came out. Did it come out this year or last year?
I think the year before.
Okay.
And I definitely saw it in theaters, and it was fucking intense.
This entire intro is
holy
insane,
shit. You have no there's no soft intro. They're not gonna give you a mission briefing. It's just like they're on a plane, and then they're like, oh, everything's gonna be chill, haha, and like joking around a little bit, and then the fucking plane gets shot. And all of these holes start showing up, people falling out, and they're like, you gotta bail now, and they fucking throw everybody out with their parachutes and everything.
Yeah, so we're introduced to our main character, Boyan?
I think so.
Something like that, Boys.
Yeah.
His name is Boys. He's an African-American. it's kind of rare to see African American people in World War II movies or World War One movies.
Yeah,
as
to be
well.
given the main role and
Right.
protagonist of this one, he really is the main character for the most of the movie. I'd say him and the other guy who he kind of becomes friends with.
We're quickly introduced to a little bit of people. We have the photographer, we have the corporal who doesn't like to take shit from anybody and will put people in their place. We have the Jewish friend,
Right.
and we have the baseball player from Jersey who's gonna fucking start shit with everybody because he's the shit talker, you know?
Yeah, so they immediately start off with the tropes of making the archetypes, especially for the American characters, and bring them all together after their planes get shot down, so they kind of regroup on the ground.
Yeah,
And
I gotta keep talking about that intro, man. It's
Yeah.
just fucking crazy.
well, so it starts with them in the plane, and you get sort of like the gunfire ripping through the place that they're sitting. So you see guys get shredded
Yeah.
right next to them.
It takes place on D-Day also,
Yes.
so they're storming the beaches of Normandy. So
And this is a different area, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
I believe it. I believe they are just flying over Normandy.
They're gonna be going into France.
That's it.
Yeah, because and that's hence
Yeah.
why you meet a lot of French-speaking
Yep.
folks there. So and then isn't Normandy in France? Isn't that?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm
Normandy
bad
is in
at
France.
with geography.
So but yeah, same. But I believe that if you were to watch Saving Private Ryan and this movie, all the Saving Private Ryan stuff's happening on the beach while
Yeah.
they're in the air.
Yes,
Dealing
yeah.
with, and because part of
They're a little bit inland. Yeah.
part of that one was taking care of the anti-aircraft that was on the ground. Part of Saving Private Ryan was that, but that's a totally different movie. But in this one, I really liked Overlord, first of all. But they get to do a good job of setting up the characters, and it happens very similarly to how Dead Snow begins, where it's just everyone in a vehicle going to the destination and getting to know who the characters are.
I will say the first time I saw this movie, I thought the commander was Dave Chappelle. He looks like him so much. I was like, is this Chappelle?
It's,
Like,
I'm not gonna lie, it does
He has
kind of
the
look
split
like him.
tooth. He's tall. You know, I was just like, this is fucking. No, it's not Dave Chappelle. Okay.
That's funny.
But he's talking about don't go yet. Only go when the light's green because that's when they're allowed to go. And then you see them open the door and you witness their other squadrons in other planes, just
Yep.
like the one that they're in, are getting completely shot down by flak and bullets.
Yeah, they're getting torn
And it's crazy because
apart.
I'm thinking this entire time, what's the difference between you getting shot and the guy next to you? A matter of like 2 or 3 feet,
Yeah. Oh, it's probably like a smaller margin than that.
maybe like 1.5 foot.
I don't remember. Does he jump out or does somebody like shove him out of the plane?
He gets shoved out. He
Yeah,
does
I'm
not
pretty
want
sure
to go.
he gets like thrown out, and then the camera is like right next to him. It like follows him all the way down into the water. But on his way down, you get to see everything that's happening around. So other planes getting shot, dudes falling out and
You
trying
see
to parachute.
fire, like literal fucking gunfire whizzing by him.
Yeah, the super bright like I don't know what to call them exactly, because there are certain rounds that are so hot that you can see the streak going through, and that's what you were seeing from the planes. And so a bunch of them go by him, and he eventually lands in the water, and then he has to like swim to shore and figure out where the fuck he's at.
He has to cut his parachute and then relieve his entire bag. And this is one of the things about the movie that I was like really scared of. He just leaves his helmet.
Yeah, he says fuck it. He
Yeah.
just doesn't take it with him. I don't know why he didn't take it with him, but he really was just like, I'm not going to take this with me. It was kind of like the dude with the camera where they're like, what the fuck is that going to do? Like, why do you have a camera?
Yeah.
Like it's not going to
I'm
do you
recording
any
the
good.
war.
Yeah, and they're like, that's fucking dumb. And
He's
just
like, I
go.
need you to get rid of this because it's a spotlight.
So how, I don't remember exactly how, but how do they get their mission? Like, how do they figure out that they need to go into this communications tower?
I mean,
It's told in the plane, I believe. They need to get to the tower in France, in this little place, take down the communications area. So the
Okay,
flak
so they all
cannot-
know their mission
It's-
before that.
yeah.
probably to disrupt the enemy, to be all on all honesty, or to use it for themselves.
Well, they explain that they need that tower down
Yeah.
so they could get their because the guys on the beach need aircraft.
Right.
They need anti-personnel aircraft, and that's what they're going to be using. So they need the tower down so it could just use the disrupting, as well as like probably fucking up where the flaks are going to be shot at because they don't have exact targets.
Yeah, they don't have all the info. So they know what they're supposed to do as soon as they get to the ground, and they don't waste their time getting into the story.
Now you see the commander from far away with boys. You see boys watching the commander, and he's like, "Hey, can I get a cigarette from one of you fucking krauts?"
I fucking love that.
It's just a Hail Mary comment from him.
Yeah,
just like,
exactly.
well, I hope they're nice. Nope.
And they're laughing, and they just gun him down like a dog. And
Right.
boys wants to go attack, but the corporal, the silent protagonist, not really silent anymore, trying to lead his band to the tower.
Right, and they run into like this city or this little town just outside of where the tower is that's been overtaken by the Nazi soldiers, and they run into a a young girl and her grandfather.
Yeah, so going up to that part, you find the cameraman and you find the New Jersey
Yeah, so
style
their
dude,
little group comes together.
as well as a guy who's writing a book. Oh,
Yeah,
and he's talking about how he would use the guy's photographs for it, and he'd be making a good amount of money. And he immediately gets landmined on the way to the tower.
Yep, that guy is fucked. Oh, that
So
sucks. I remember
There's
that.
a real tense scene where they're using their bayonets to try to get around it, and it's kind of comical because the New Jersey guy's like, "Hey, you guys want to stop fucking having tea and maybe fucking help me?"
Oh, that's because he's poking the ground in front of him, right, with his
Right.
with his bayonet to
And
see.
they're like, "How hard is hard?"
Oh yeah, they're like, do it gently. He's like, what the fuck? How am I supposed to do any of this? Like, I'm just gonna blow us up if we keep doing this shit. Because they're trying to find their way through the landmines, but eventually they do figure it out. Except for that one guy.
Oh,
But I mean,
they
you didn't know him that long. It's okay.
yeah. They also come across that weird dog-looking thing in the middle of the woods.
So this is the first time you get to see that there's something up with the area. Like they are doing some weird experimental shit. And one of them is fucking around with the dogs. And the dog is like a weird, like predator style dog. Like the mouth opens and everything, but you don't find out until later.
Yeah.
Either way, you know something is up with this dog because it's like bloodied. And then it's like following them, and then they're like, what the fuck is that? Like, I think they even stop to be like, what the fuck is that? And then they don't say anything about it and just let it go. And then they continue with their story because, like, all right, we got a mission. And then they have to, like, stow away in this woman's house because they need, like, a headquarters, basically, to move forward. And this is when they find out that something's up with her dad. Right? He's basically, like, been experimented on, I think.
Oh, you're talking about her aunt.
Or who is it? Who's the one in the bed? Like,
Her
Oh
aunt.
yeah, it's her aunt.
Oh, it's her aunt.
Yeah, it's her aunt that does
My
that.
bad.
Yeah, and she looks all tumored up and scarred, and
She looks like a leper, in
Yeah.
all honesty.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they treat her like one too.
Oh, yeah.
and then you find out that this piece of shit Nazi likes to visit her.
And get some French puss.
Yeah, well, that dude almost gets fucking murked while he's in there. But then they're like, no, we can't like kill this dude. But
Yeah,
they're like,
I love how it's a very tense scene where
Hell yeah, it
the
is.
zombies come, or not the Nazis come in, and they're like, "Oh, so we're gonna probably look around your house a little,
right,
unless you want me to just it could just be you and me."
yeah. And that shit's fucked up because they always have something like that.
And these American soldiers are looking through the floorboards,
Yep.
watching this, and Boys gets fed up with it and puts his gun right to the Nazi commander's head. And there's also the real tense scene where the kid drops the baseball.
Oh fuck.
And
He's like, what the fuck is that?
so your brother is asleep, right? Yeah, he's asleep. Boom, boom, boom. You hear something fall off the fucking in the attic, and they make the little kid have the baseball and the mitt, so it looks like he just wants to play ball with somebody. And then you have
He
this
walks up the stairs, like halfway up the stairs. It's ridiculous.
looks at the ball, coughs a fat loogie on it, and throws it back to the kid.
Yep.
Like a fucking dick.
Oof.
And they're all sitting at the top of the stairs, like ready to
Stance.
fucking kill this dude if he comes up the stairs.
Yeah, the Germans in World War II were bigger assholes than World War I Germans were, like for sure. Because just because of how much more like propagated they were during the time period. In World War I, like there was actually a break with where like for like New Year's Eve or Christmas where they actually had a ceasefire, and like the American troops and the German troops actually had parties with each other and whatnot right
weird.
before going back to killing each other.
Yeah,
again.
Holy
they
shit.
would
Yeah.
they played football. They would give each other chocolates and sweets. They would exchange photos of families.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like when they would do their ceasefire and then they would go into like the no man's land.
Yeah, that's
between.
exactly what it was. It was
Yeah.
because World War I was heavy trench warfare.
Yeah.
There's actually a great movie that I recommend people watching that is called They Shall Never Grow Old, which is directed by Peter Jackson. And if you want like a visceral depiction of World War I, that is probably the most realistic thing you'll look at. It was more visceral than any war movie I've ever seen.
I thought you were gonna say All Quiet on the Eastern Front, but that's another one. Too.
No, that's a different movie.
It's the same shit. It's like that trench warfare.
Oh,
kind
okay,
of
gotcha.
thing, yeah.
It doesn't have. There's no dramatization of anything. It's all just
Nice.
like shots. It's all like.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, it's really good.
He
If
like
you-
colorized it,
Yeah,
right?
he
and
colorizes old footage,
yeah.
and then they had voice actors come in
yeah,
and do the sounds
he put a
and everything.
story onto what
Yeah,
he was looking
veterans are talking about it in the
Yeah.
background. They just are talking about their experiences.
at. Holy shit.
And it's a really good movie, but I don't want to digress too much. But it's a very good movie, and I recommend people watch it.
That sounds like something that's really interesting. There's a lot of shit about World War II and about Nazis and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like the reason why they're able to do all of their blitzkrieg attacks is because they're all on meth.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing. Like, it was like definitely encouraged by the German army.
They
during
were
that
like
time.
making these crazy pills
The-
that they would give to them. And they would take these, and it's the only reason why they were able to do like the blitzkrieg attack for like 3 days straight because
Yep.
they're all on fucking meth and they're just going through their jobs like that, no sleep.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's like there's like a whole podcast on it if
I
you
mean,
want to go listen to that.
Just to stipulate that They Shall Never Grow Old is about World War I specifically.
Yeah.
That's just to stipulate. It doesn't cover World War II.
That's legit though. Definitely something you should check out.
But
So continuing on Overlord,
Yeah.
yeah.
they beat the Nazi commander up and they bag him with a potato bag and tie him up in the attic.
Then they're like, "What the fuck are we gonna do?" Because this guy is fucking tied up.
They come back. The other two characters, the cameraman and the Jersey boy, they come back after doing some scouting, and they see the compound out when they found that bodies were going in.
Yeah, and it's like heavily secured. So they're like, "Why the fuck is this communications tower so well guarded? It should
Right.
not be that well guarded if it's just like communications."
So then we have the thing where they start interrogating the commander,
Yep.
and it's very intense because Corporal is not holding back at all.
Nope, he's
Pistol
about to
whipping
carve this
bitch
dude
like
up.
nothing. Pistol whipping him, cutting him up. What's the information? Or something? He says something along the lines of that.
Well, I mean, like, doesn't it get sort of revealed at some point that he is not just like that unit, that ranking, that he's kind of been sent on a special mission there?
Yeah. He's basically like overseeing the lab that's there, and one of these Nazi doctors. I believe I don't know if he lets too much onto that though. He kind of keeps a lot of that hush hush with
Yeah.
them.
Are you talking about the American or the German?
The German.
Well, they
Okay.
both kind of have
Yeah, 'cause
like ulterior things that they've
the
been
corp-
sent there
the
for.
corporal was sent on this mission to overlook it on like bad terms. He is a very visceral kind of warrior, is what they were explaining in the plane. He does the fucked up shit that no one else wants to do.
Yeah, they established that he's gonna be ready to kill some people.
He takes all the renegade options instead of the Paragon
Right.
options.
Exactly. And so they like sneak into the compound, right, in a vehicle.
No, Boys goes on his own to check it out. No. Boys is trying to meet up with the other guys who were
That's
on
right.
the lookout, and then he gets fucking taken into the castle
By accident.
by accident because he's gonna get cornered by these Nazis. So he just jumps into the
into the truck.
truck with all
the
these
bodies.
dead Americans with him,
Yep.
and
then
hides himself very, very well underneath a couple of them.
Gets in and discovers that there's something weird going on. There's all these labs where they're doing experiments on people.
He finds all the syringes and whatnot, and how they're like inserting this liquid into them.
He looks through a little peepee hole and sees all kinds of fucked up people inside of him.
So I don't think I fully understood what this shit was. Is it like the opposite of the super soldier serum? Like it made them like fucked up looking.
So this is the reference I was dying to make for this movie because it makes like a direct reference to Herbert West's The Reanimator, which is an H.P. Lovecraft story. Where this doctor, it's basically like Lovecraft's Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And so he basically goes along and makes this serum that brings the dead back. and they're a lot more violent and awful afterwards.
Yep.
So it definitely takes that directly and puts that in there. Basically, you know, the Nazis take this serum and they use it on their dead, and their dead come back much stronger.
Yeah.
And basically impervious to death, basically.
What I got from these people and the zombies and the Nazis that were using it was also the fact that the more evil that they were, or the more like sinister and sadistic that they were, the more powerful it made them as well.
That's also a possibility.
Like the commander, for sure, that dude was twisted.
Yeah, he becomes way more like crazy.
Yeah,
The commander took like 2 or 3 of those syringes. Though.
yeah,
It
he
should be
just
noted.
fucking like yokes himself up on that
Yeah.
While
shit.
he's alive too.
Yeah,
To counteract that, they do use it after the photographer boy gets shot.
Yeah, it should be noted though that they talk about the origin of the liquid as well a little bit.
yeah.
Also, another fun fact though, we're doing Reanimator with Return of the Living Dead, so
Yeah.
I'm glad we made that reference back full circle.
Reanimator's great. I love that movie.
So, they talk about how they found this tar underneath the chapel, and that it is God's gift, and God wanted us to use this so we could have a 1,000-year army for the Reich.
Yeah, of course. They always got to mention the 1,000-year Reich because it's in every fucking Nazi movie. That was like the ultimate goal for them, was the
1,000 years, Morty. 1,000 years of fascism, Morty. You and me.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so they derive this serum from it, and that's what they're using to yoking up these people. He grabs a serum and returns back to the house somehow.
And he's like, check this shit out.
And then they're really confused as what the fuck this is. The commander is shitting his pants.
Well, one of their friends is injured at this point, right?
No. So the commander's shitting his pants about this, and they're still trying to get answers. He's not budging. So they're deciding they're going to move him somewhere else. And that's when the photography boy goes upstairs by himself, and he gets fucked up by the commander. The commander bunts him.
That's right.
Stabs him with the knife, and then shoots him twice in the chest. And then everyone freaks out, and they go upstairs, and they're trying to sedate him back into being a fucking captive. And they actually get to do so, but they're like, what the fuck is going on? Like Boys comes back, he's freaking out about what he just saw.
I thought they injected that dude, and then he's like, I'm fine, everything's cool, and then he goes
no.
fucking nuts.
They're all sad because Boys is trying to do medical procedure on him, and then he, as a last effort, uses the syringe on the photographer.
Yeah. And then he pops up and he's like, everything's fine. Oh, wow, I feel great. And then
Let me drink your water.
Yeah, slowly starts getting really fucking... He realizes that he's not doing well.
He's like, I feel really fucking hot in here. Is it hot in here? He's like stripping down.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm really fucking hot. And he just barely taps a beam in the attic, and it
Breaks
fucking
it.
cracks completely. And they realize that he's a super soldier of some sort, but he is not himself, and he's starting to get violent.
Yep, immediately gets violent, and that's what they realize is what the serum does to people is it increases their strength. It makes them a lot more volatile, depending on what kind of person they are. He didn't seem to be too crazy compared to some of the other people, and then it only slightly warped how he looked.
Yeah, so then after that, he started swinging a knife at people who were trying to help him. And that's when they had to put him down like a dog and shoot him a bunch. But as zombies do, you could never just shoot him in the gut.
Right, you gotta fucking shoot him in the head.
That's when Boys comes out with the gun and just starts bashing his fucking skull into the attic.
Mm-hmm.
You see a nice pomegranate jam on that shit.
I mean, you see a lot of character development on Boyce throughout the movie as well, because at first they talk about how he's really timid and he won't kill things, and he's not really that into it. He's also the linguist among them too. He's the only one that can actually speak French.
Oh yeah, and they described the story of the mouse. Do you remember that one?
Yes, where he won't kill the mouse, and then the mouse comes back, starts eating everything and whatnot. I don't remember the rest of the story though.
So there's a mouse inside the barracks. They tell him to kill it. He releases the mouse into the wilderness. The mouse comes back and shits all over the commander's pillow. So then the commander makes them do intense exercises because Boys won't kill a fucking mouse. And that's to show like his little timid nature. You know, he is a nice person. He won't kill if he has to. And the female French lead, she takes interest of this. And she's kind of a badass herself, though, in the movie. At first, she's kind of just trying to get by. Oh, dude, we also have to talk about that fucking narc of a neighbor, dude.
Oh, the one who's just like always watching what's going on.
No. She's like, hey, what are you doing outside? Oh, I'm just trying to get home. Oh my God, you're outside a curfew. Starts blowing the fucking whistle.
That shit was so annoying.
I was just like, you fucking cuck.
Oh.
Sorry. You boot liquor.
That's how you piss off a military person. Call him a fucking boot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's how you get kicked out of Facebook groups.
Yeah.
Did I tell you about that? I got kicked out of that Marine Facebook group.
Oh no!
What?
Yeah, that shit was hilarious.
You called someone a boot?
Well, I called a bunch of people bootlickers, and then what did they say? Though they were talking about how like the military needs to have their guns and the people need to have like their private ownership of guns, and I was like, sounds like something a bootlicker would say, and they fucking lost it. They were like, what the fuck? What are you even doing in this fucking group?
Oh, getting so
and then
mad.
I like replied, and I kept replying, okay, boomer, and then they just kicked me out.
Anyway, so back to Overlord.
Right. So what happens next? He's in the compound, right?
They're gonna make a plan to get in the compound, and the thing is, the commander escapes. He breaks through his chains. He sounds the alarm, and he's trying to get into a car, and that's when they have to blow their cover.
Yep.
And dude, the Jersey boy, he could fucking shoot, man. That guy makes all of his shots. He's a sniper.
Oh, that's right.
He kills it, dude.
Mm-hmm.
He's making his shots on mark, headshots and all. And then that's when he scrapes the dude's face and like shoots him. But they stole the main lead woman's brother.
The little kid.
The little kid. And that's where they've gone too far with this woman. She's just like, oh, nope, I'm going to fucking go. She grabs an STG-44, some grenades, and she's ready to fuck shit up. And that's when the commander and boys start going on their mission in there. And I say halfway through there, well, they find the place that boys went through in the sewers. And they go in there. And on the way in there, it should be noted before the first time that boys found the Jewish person inside there. And he was being tested on. He had tubes.
He's like still hooked up when they find him.
Yeah. So he was going to be like a big test subject on him. But they got him out. They gave him some clothes. And now he's shooting. So this is their plan. They have... the lady... She attracts someone and makes them chase her down in a fucking motorcycle with a sidecar.
Yep.
And then she beats she doesn't beat the shit out of them, but the guys come in, they fucking kick his ass, and they strap a bunch of explosives on his car.
Yep.
And then they
send it into the front.
Send it in there, and they're just like, what's up? They're like, his hands are tied. Oh, his mouth is open. And then they rip off the tape of his mouth. And it reveals a detonator that starts. The fucking bike explodes. The entire fucking wagon explodes. And just people are on fire, burning. And that's when you got your Jersey boy and the Jewish guy sniping and machine gunning. And it's kind of hard for the machine gun guy, but he's getting some kills. He's like, I'm manning a two-guy weapon by myself. Fucking give me some time to reload. The guy's like, oh, shit, I don't got time to reload. But they're unleashing on these guys, and that's when boys and the three of them go in.
Right. And that's Ford is with them, right?
That's his name.
Yeah.
Ford is the American corporal.
Yeah, and he goes fucking ham. He goes in there, but he gets caught up with the main guy, who I think his last name is Waffner. There you go.
Captain Waffner.
Yeah, and he's already fucking mutated, and he finds Ford and just fucking hangs him on a meat hook.
Yep.
Just like straight through his back and just leaves him dangling there while he's like dealing with Boyce and the other people there.
I think he shoved it in his stomach because he has to pull it out like from underneath. Because Ford pulls himself off the hook from the front.
Yeah, you are right.
Yeah.
And
it's pretty gnarly.
It should be noted that Ford set up all the explosives in the tower.
Yep.
And boys set up all the explosives in the lab. And the female character, I don't remember her name. Oh, Chloe. Chloe is her name. Chloe finds her son or finds these two Germans walking around, and she demands that one of them brings her brother back. And she finds them, and they're like, "We don't know where your brother is." And she just immediately caps one of them in the head. And she's like, "You're going to tell me where my brother is, right?" So they're going to bring her to the experimental guy who was in the little hidey hole peeping Tom room.
Yes.
But he's like, "No, he's not in there. He's over here." And they find the kid almost strapped up, ready to go. And they are escaping with him. But then the peeping Tom guy comes through and breaks through and tries to fucking kill boys and the woman.
Yes, but they get away.
You want to talk about his how he looks?
With the evil character, like the villain?
Not the main villain, but the side, the mini boss.
Right.
They open up the guy that's in the cage. It's super crazy, and it gets opened.
Yeah.
And he starts chasing. He chases boys around.
Yeah. Dude, this whole, like, once they were in the compound, it started looking like a video game. Where it's like you're going through like the levels and shit, and then all the people you run into are like the bosses and stuff. It was very like a Doom-esque vibe.
The laboratory was super video game like.
It's dark. It's like
there's a circular area around it.
Yeah, exactly.
Full of tables and like vials.
And then they had to make their way through, and it was all claustrophobic as fuck.
The scientist comes up to the boys, puts a gun to his head, and is gonna fucking cap him off. Boys actually uses hand-to-hand combat pretty well and makes the guy stab himself. And then you have the other guy who gets fucked up by the flamethrower from Chloe. She goes in, she straps up the flamethrower and just unleashes it on this mini boss. He burns and just dies. And that's when she gets her brother out of there, and he's fine. And you have a really hilarious scene because the Jewish guy and the Jersey guy, they regroup to the town. And you see this little kid running in the middle of gunfire, like thousands of rounds being shot. He's like, "Oh my god, oh my god."
I can't believe I'm not dead yet.
Yeah, right. Thanks, Yori.
Fucking Jojo Rabbit. Oh my god.
Holy shit.
And the Jersey guy's like, I guess I'll be that guy. And he's a hero. He runs out, jumps in front of a car, grabs the kid, and gets shot on his way back to bring the kid into safety.
Yep. And he dies.
No, he doesn't.
I know. I'm just kidding. He survives his wounds.
He actually lives.
I
was
gets
really
shot.
hyped on it. I was glad he didn't die.
Yeah, he gets to the very end, and when they're able to like get out and go talk to him. But before that, there's a final epic battle with Ford and what was the guy's name?
In Ford and Voffner.
Yeah, where he's like, I'm gonna inject myself with like 3 of these different things, then show back up, and he looks fucking terrifying. He's just absolutely scary looking.
He's ripped.
Yeah, he's fucking ripped.
He's sweating like crazy. His jaw
he's
is
like
all
dripping.
His eyes are like an amber orange.
Yep. And they fucking go for it. They start fighting each other, and then I think, does he set off a bomb in there?
Ford actually puts up a thing in there. He puts one of the syringes inside him and tries to fend off the antagonist. And then Boys is in there. He's like, "Boys, you got to put the timer on the fucking thing." And he's like, "I don't want anyone to know that this stuff was here. We got to bury the shit down here so no one could ever dig this stuff up and deal with it." So he shoots the bomb inside the laboratory, and all these zombies that were being commanded by the commander are all burning with the commander who fell down the well.
Yeah, into like the tar that they're pulling it from. Yeah,
and then after that, Ford locks the room up and says, "You need to go out there and put the timer on there and complete the mission. I will no longer be a part of this mission." Yeah, he kind of like forces him to, because he locks him out of the area and he can't do anything. It's such a sad
moment too. You're like,
it is,
no,
because he doesn't want to leave him there.
Yeah,
Boys is literally just trying to reason with him. He's like, "We could fix this. We could make you go back. It doesn't have to be this way." And Ford his intent is to bury all this shit in the ground and have no one deal with it.
Yep. He doesn't want anything to reach the surface at all. And then he locks himself in there. He forces Boyce to run, and then you just see Boyce, this super sad dude, just like, no.
That's an order, soldier.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good line, too.
And then you have the timer going off, and the entire castle crumbling down.
Yeah, he's got to get out as it's crumbling.
It's super intense. He's like trying to. I mean, it's all one shot, isn't it?
Yes, it's like a continuous shot of him running like all the way from the inside of the compound to the outside.
That total video game mentality where it's just running through every room
yes,
trying to
you
get out
have
of
a
there.
timer now and you need to get the fuck out.
Yep.
He does make it out. He gets back, and then on their radio, they hear that the D-Day invasion was a success.
Yeah.
And then he gets interviewed by a marshal, commanding person.
They want to know what the fuck happens. They're like, is there anything worth noting under there? And he says no, because he doesn't want anybody to know anything that happened.
And it's funny because he's like, no, really. And if you were lying to me, I would know. And you're telling the truth 100%. Yes. Oh, perfect. I knew nothing was in there.
I know. He just lets it go. He's like, whatever, man.
And then they get moved to Charlie Company.
Yep.
And they're like, hey, we're going to Charlie Company. And they're like, really? After all we've fucking been through, man?
Right. Yeah. The war keeps going.
I feel like that must be the most aggravating shit because you can't explain to people the fucked up things you've seen.
Nope.
Super classified stuff anyways.
Yeah, definitely.
There's always conspiracy theories about what the Nazis were up to as far as experimental things.
Oh yeah, exactly. And so it makes for some good plot lines.
If it's right into like the real world history, you get to add in stories like that. It's kind of like what Inglourious Bastards did.
I like these alternative history takes.
Yeah. Although in that one they actually kill Hitler, which is hilarious.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I liked Overlord. I liked Overlord.
I loved it the first time I watched it. I thought it was really, really well done because of the pacing. Like, I never felt like I was bored watching it.
Yeah.
Like, they definitely, like, throw you right into the action, and then you get to calm down a bit as they, like, figure out what their plan is. Mm-hmm. But they're still on edge the whole time. There's not really a moment to relax.
I mean, how many movies do you have how many often do you see a war horror movie?
Not often, so it was a good mix.
Specifically where they tie into the idea. I mean, clearly for this episode, we're obviously doing like a Nazi zombie like theme for this particular episode, and it was very cool to see a war movie that was very much lined up with horror. I mean, war is horrifying in itself, but then to actually add like classic elements of horror like this,
right? Some sci-fi and some cryptic stuff from the occult.
Well, it took all of its pieces seriously. When they were making the action bits, when they were showing all of like what the military was doing, that was all like real. Like that could have been a movie by itself.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking.
They combined the Nazis and the zombies and mashed it into it, and it worked really well in this case because they were able to explain like what they were doing.
After seeing that intro scene, I was like, dude, this is a really good war movie already.
Yeah, shit, that was fucking gnarly.
And I was like, there's Nazis in this too. What like Nazi zombies? Oh my gosh, what a treat! I need to see the rest of this movie.
Have you seen Dunkirk?
Not yet.
Holy shit!
I wanted to.
Yeah, they basically have the scene which is in almost like all of the war movies, but like when they're on the boat and it opens out onto the shore and you just see soldiers come out and they're just mowed down.
Yeah.
They have that shot, but like from someone looking onto like the people in the front.
Mm-hmm.
So they just do all sorts of crazy shit like that.
Overall, I thought this movie was a lot of fun. It's really well made, and I wish more people were talking about it and
it
saw
did pretty well. I mean, like it got a high score. It was like 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. And then as far as like its budget was 38 million and it made 41.7 million. So like
wow, it made it.
It didn't lose money, but it didn't make that much either. So people weren't too stoked
just
on
barely
it.
there.
Yeah, like just barely made them their money back. So you're not going to see a sequel anytime soon.
Yeah. I don't think it needs a sequel either.
No,
I feel
it's
like
a good standalone.
It's pretty much one and done.
I'm cool with this standalone. I like the H.P. Lovecraft reference. I like the weird, unexplainable tar from France that we don't really know much about.
That's true. It should also be noted that the director was Julius Avery, and it was produced by J.J. Abrams. So,
interesting. Very interesting.
Familiar people who are doing stuff like that. And what else did he make? I think that was like one of the only ones that he had made. But that was like the main people. And then it was starring Jovan Adepo, I think is the main black guy that you were seeing in the film who plays Boyce.
Yeah, that is his name.
Yeah. And then you had Wyatt Russell as the main commander or corporal who is in that one. So those were like the two main guys, and you've definitely seen them in a bunch of other things. Either way, it's worth the watch. I would watch that one probably over again just because there's probably stuff I missed the first time around. But the pacing for me was really good. The script is really good. They didn't seem too like stereotypical for the characters that they were, and it all meshed well. Like they were actually like soldiers. They weren't playing like fake versions of them.
Touching on the whole like zombie aspect, a lot of zombie movies are super campy. You know, it's
Almost
not
always, yeah,
always. And so this one, they were quite serious about basically everything that's going on, so that there's not a lot of joking moments.
No, there really wasn't.
They've got some badass moments.
Yeah,
you know, like Ford ripping the hook out of himself to lift himself off of that hook was pretty fucking gnarly just to watch that in general. And then some great character development for Boyce's character as well, because he starts off really timid, and then once he gets into the fray of everything, he really starts to develop. And but he still maintains his gotta save everyone sort of demeanor.
I like the serious take on the zombie film like this and the war film, and it was a really good mesh of the two. And there's a lot of mystery around it, and it doesn't get explained, and that's what is kind of horrifying as well.
Yeah, that's true. This could not be the only place that they were doing these kinds of experiments.
Exactly.
This has to have just been like one place that they had found and got rid of, but there's got to be like other places.
Definitely. This is not really Overlord related, but it is World War II movie oriented. A new movie came out not too long ago that was sort of a comedic take on World War II and
that's right.
the Nazi groups and whatnot. It's a film that pretty much just pokes fun at them the whole time, and it's called Jojo Rabbit. And I saw it in theaters not too long ago, and it was a great satirical take on that time period, and really pokes fun at propagandization and things like that. And it was a really good take, though, a really good take on like sort of like a coming of age story. And also, but it's not really a horror movie. I wouldn't say you'll laugh your ass off though. And it's like,
what was it called again?
Jojo Rabbit,
directed by Taika Waititi.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
it's more of a dark comedy.
Yeah,
starring Scarlett Johansson as well.
Shit.
Yeah,
she actually does a really good job in that one too. I liked a lot of her scenes in that movie too. She does a really good job. She plays the mom. But I recommend seeing that, even though it's not really in the same vein. But if you want to see Nazis get blown up, or if you want to just see a movie that just pokes fun at that whole regime in general, this is a good one. That's definitely a good one. But hell yeah. And then also we've got some like side segments that we're working with as well.
Yes. So I think now we've got 3 different ones, right?
Yes. You want to talk about yours real quick?
So I haven't done a newer episode just yet, but I started it off. I did Afterthoughts with Jonathan, and that was just some things I might have forgotten during the podcast that I wanted to bring forth and talk about. And so I did that. I did the first episode of that, and then Mur did his segment as well.
Yeah, it should be coming in the next couple days or weeks. Monsters with Mur, where we discuss, I discuss monster movies in general, whether they're big or small in anime or TV shows and movies. Right now, I'm going to be diving into Godzilla because I'm doing the 35 movie challenge. And until after that, I mean, for a while, I'm going to have a good amount of content. So if you like the Godzilla episode where I went in depth on my nerd out, basically, that's what that's going to be like.
And then I'm doing horror in video games with Mitch. I couldn't think of a catchier title for it, so I just went with that. And I've so far covered Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, which was a fantastic game, and then I just did Doom 2016, which will be going up in the coming weeks.
That first one that you mentioned is already out on all of our streaming services, so you can go watch it. And it's very short. Yeah,
it's a very short take, but it might encourage you to go play the game.
Yep.
And then I plan on doing The Witcher and Alien Isolation.
Oh, yeah.
And covering the horror elements in those games as well. But I'm a giant baby when it comes to horror video games, so this is really like a big challenge for me. It's really a big challenge for me to play these games because they scare me so much more than any movie can or any book. Like I just get so freaked out with horror games. Like I want to do Dead Space also.
That game freaks me the fuck out.
Yeah, and so
every time I thought
it.
things were chill and I was like gonna have a moment to breathe, some crazy creature would pop out of someone, and then your fucking game would push you into a corner. And you're like, oh fuck, I need to like handle this right now.
Yeah, and that's about all I've got to say about that.
Cool. Well, then, before I let everybody go, I want to remind you all that we're super easy to find on all of the streaming services. We're on all of the main ones. Just search Bringing Down the Grindhouse. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts as well as Google Podcasts. And we are also on SoundCloud and iHeartRadio. And there are some smaller ones we're on as well for Stitcher and for CastBox. So any one of those, you can find us by searching Bringing Down the Grindhouse. And we've also got our social medias. So we have the Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, which are all the BDTGH_podcast. And you can find us at any one of those. Leave comments or suggestions for like future episodes and whatnot. But thanks, guys, for coming out to talk about these. I hope everyone has a good night.
I'm Mitch.
I'm Mur.
And I'm Jonathan.
Good night.